We're talking to Congresswoman Ileana Ros-Lehtinen, who is the chairwoman of the Foreign Affairs Committee. But as important is the fact that you're the Congresswoman from Florida.
Lester, you are so right. Well, first of all, thank you so much for letting me be a part of your show again. How many years?
35.
And what's the distinction of this show?
Ask Congress.
Yes, but what's the claim to fame?
It's the first political affairs show that was from the Congress.
Unbelievable. How many years?
About 35 years now. Even
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, but you are so right, and you know, because you're a former member of Congress, we may have some fancy titles up here, but what really matters are the folks back home.
Right.
Because they are the folks who we are accountable to whom we are accountable. They're the ones who elect us. They either reward us with their votes or punish us by voting for our opponents. So we are ever cognizant of what Ronald Reagan said, dance with the ones that brung you. And the ones that brung me are the constituents. So I pay a lot of attention to my district. In fact, the reason I'm late is because I was giving some remarks on the floor for the Autism Association of Miami-Dade. So folks hear me talk about foreign affairs when I'm handling a bill, but I make it a point of always talking about a local issue because I want to make sure people know I'm very involved in my district.
Well, that's it, and that's a question. How are you able to divide your time with so many of the pressures of the international field? And here you are representing a very important district in Florida.
Well, the first thing, as you know, as a former member of Congress, is you have to like your job. You have to like what you're doing. And Lester, just like when you were here, I look around and some of my colleagues are so grumpy all the time. And I'm thinking, there's so many other things that you could do. How could you be grumpy when you have this unbelievable job where you get to help people in your congressional district with immigration, with Medicare, Medicaid, Social Security? We're helping people all the time. And then when you're in DC, you're talking about the most important topics of the day. So be positive, like what you do. I have a doctorate in education. I used to be a teacher. I could do many things, but this is what I love to do because I get to influence foreign policy, domestic policy, and help people. So
and help people in your district.
Help people in my district.
Tip said, you know, all politics is local.
That is the mantra that sometimes people forget. All politics is local. They get up here and they come down with what we call here Potomac fever. What does that mean? Is that they fall in love with this place and they don't go back home. Now, Washington's a lovely city, but it's not home.
Yeah.
It's not home to any of us. So go back home. So you ask me how I can do it. Well, I'm spoiled because Miami to Washington and Washington to Miami is just 2 hours and 10 minutes. The real question is, how does a member of Congress from Oregon or Nebraska or Washington State, how do they do it? Because it's too difficult for them to go back home or too taxing on their bodies to have that time change every few days. So it's hard. And with my job as the chairman of Foreign Affairs, I come in contact with folks from all over the world.
Sure.
And they all want a little bit of time to
That's
explain, right. And they're 192 countries. They're not enough minutes in an hour to see everybody. But we pay a lot of attention to visitors from back home.
And you've also got a great staff, which is most important.
That's where I was going. And the second magic trick is that it's not just me. It is my incredible staff, both in Miami and in the Keys, because my district goes all the way to the Keys. A great set of volunteers who come to our office every day and help us with phones. A wonderful staff here in DC. Whenever somebody comes from the district, we help them set up a Capitol tour. If they want a flag flown in their name, we help them set up visits, White House tours, you name it, and we do it. We congratulate students in our local school districts who've gotten good grades. So I'm very much attuned to my district. Yes, I care about what's going on in the Middle East, but I care a lot more about what's going on in my district. I never forget.
I can imagine that. You know, I would say that at least half of my old district is now in your district. who moved
They
down-
retire. What he means is they
down the
retire
road.
down, you know, and we don't get enough of those as we used to. My district, of course, has grown a lot through the years, so we're gonna have reapportionment. That's every 10 years according to our founding fathers. It's in the Constitution. They do a census. You know, you filled out those cards. And according to the new numbers, they figure out how many congressional districts each state could have. Well, all of the Sunbelt states, meaning where it's warm and sunny, we increased in populations. In places like New York, etc., they go down in population because people want the nice warm weather. So we're going to get 2 more members of Congress, not in South Florida, but Central Florida probably. And New York is losing 2 members.
right.
So it's a real problem. Every 10 years, we get a readjustment of the members of Congress. Now, sometimes people ask me, well, what's that magic number 435? And you know, Lester, as you know, it's just a made-up number. It's not in the Constitution. It's not by law. We can increase it, we can decrease it, but this is the number that we've had for a while. So I don't think that anybody's hungry to have more members of Congress.
In fact, they're looking to have a few less.
Few
right at the
less.
moment. But shifting from that question of what you do in your home district, what is on the agenda right now for the Foreign Affairs Committee?
Well, right now, it's, the Middle East is more unstable than ever. Yes, it could be a reawakening of democracies throughout the region, but it also could go back the other way. We don't know quite what's going to happen there. What we do know is that Israel is our solid democratic ally in that troubled region. Many institutions can come and go elsewhere, but Israel is the one country we can depend on who will always be with us. And that's why we have to help Israel maintain its qualitative military edge and make sure that it receives the support, the military support, so that Israel can fend off the terrorists, Hamas, Hezbollah, and all of the countries that want to deny its existence.
Some people have said, however, that Israel is the cause of the problem in the Middle East.
And they are wrong. Israel is a free democratic state with a vibrant economy, a vibrant press, vibrant political parties. And some people say incorrectly, oh, it's because the Israelis don't have peace with the Palestinians. That's caused the whole Middle East to blow up, figuratively. That is not true, because Israel is looking for a partner for peace. We had recently a meeting with the president of Israel, who's a former, he's been a former everything in Israel, Shimon Peres, and Nobel Peace Prize winner. And he says, we're looking for a partner for peace. We want to negotiate with the Palestinians. We want a 2-state solution. So people need to go to Israel to find out what it's about over there, and they will see that this is our strong ally. And what we want is for all of the countries to have freedom, democracy, and human rights. Who would not want that?
That's right. Well, I want to thank you. I know you're very busy.
Thank you, Lester Wolf.
You know, taking time out in this very busy schedule is really a great credit.
I will always find time for you,
Well,
young
thank
man. And thank you to all of our viewers and listeners. We appreciate it.